This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Guilty plea. A 74-year-old Annapolis Valley man pleads guilty to manslaughter days before trial for his wife's 2022 death.
Amalgamation anniversary. 30 years later, the success of Halifax's merger remains a divisive debate.
And snowy survival. Experts warn Nova Scotia's winter won't hinder this year's tick population.
Our latest system continues to move out, high pressure moving in, and so a quieter Thursday before we do it all over again on Friday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. A 74-year-old man has pleaded guilty in the death of his wife in their Annapolis Valley home back in 2022.
As the CBC's Josh Hoffman reports, the news comes as a surprise days before the man was set to stand trial. And a warning, some people may find the details of this story disturbing.
Douglas Andrew Smith pleaded guilty to manslaughter in Kentville Supreme Court on Wednesday. The charge is related to the death of his wife, Iris Dodd, nearly 4 years ago. Smith admitted to killing Dodd in their Kingsport home on April 30th, 2022. This plea comes less than a week before Smith was set to stand trial for second-degree murder. But after some negotiation between the Crown and the defense, Smith agreed to plead guilty to the lesser charge. Crown attorney Daniel Rideout read a summary of facts in court on Wednesday. We heard that Smith called 911 from the parking lot of the New Minus RCMP detachment. He told the 911 operator that he was responsible for his wife's death and that he had smothered her. The court also heard that RCMP officers went to their home and found Dodd in a recliner with a blanket covering her head to toe. Smith is released on bail with conditions and is scheduled to be sentenced on July 3rd. Josh Hoffman, CBC News, Kentville.
Hitting performance standards continues to be a challenge for Nova Scotia Power, which missed 5 out of 14 targets last year. The utility missed several targets related to the frequency and duration of power outages. It also missed targets for response times to customer calls and far surpassed the target number for estimated bills. The utility says both of those failures are the result of last year's massive cybersecurity attack. The Energy Board will now decide if the company will pay a fine. The maximum allowable fine is $25 million. Each of the past 2 years, the company faced fines around $1 million. Fines cannot be recouped from ratepayers.
Well, today marks 30 years since the amalgamation of Halifax, and the question remains, was it a success? There were pros and cons that came out of the move, and the answer really depends on who you ask. Haley Ryan has more.
On April 1st, 1996, the former cities of Halifax and Dartmouth, the town of Bedford, and county of Halifax became the Halifax Regional Municipality. 30 years later, opinions on amalgamation remain varied and deeply personal. Dartmouth's last mayor and former HRM councillor Gloria McCluskey still calls it a mistake.
That still festers in my mind. At my age, almost 95, you'd think I would let it go, but I can't let it go.
The provincial government at the time, under Premier John Savage, forced the move through legislation.
Is undoubtedly one of the best things that will ever happen for the pushing, the development and the promotion of Greater Halifax.
At the time, current HRM councillor David Hensby was on the county council.
We ended up going down to the legislature that evening to express our disdain to the proposed legislation, but it fell on deaf ears.
I start to wonder if we live in a democracy or not. I even wondered if we lived in a benevolent dictatorship, but I'll remove the word benevolent from it.
But Hensby says amalgamation has proven itself in the long run, and the county areas have benefited from being tied to a dense urban tax base. Nova Scotia's Lieutenant Governor and former Halifax Mayor, Mike Savage, remembers the backlash around his father's decision as Premier. But he says the late Premier Savage believed it was economically and morally the right move.
I know he did it with the best of intentions, and it certainly has turned out to be a good thing for the region.
But one expert says it is hard for 16 councillors and a mayor to represent the diverse needs of residents in a municipality roughly the size of Prince Edward Island.
That whole idea of putting rural and urban together seems to me to contradict one of the reasons why we have local government in the first place.
Sancton says the idea that amalgamation would save money did not happen, with transition costs running about $26 million, and no sign of the expected millions in annual savings. Current HRM Mayor Andy Fillmore says there were growing pains, like when downtown Halifax hollowed out when businesses left for industrial parks.
Since then, on net, it has been a good thing. It allows us to plan efficiently.
When he was campaigning nearly 2 years ago, Fillmore says he found that amalgamation is still a very live topic in rural areas, where people are frustrated with the services they get for their taxes.
The big takeaway for me was that 30 years later, a generation later, this is still fresh like it happened last week.
Haley Ryan, CBC News, Halifax.
Halifax Regional Council has greenlit the second phase of the massive Windsor Street Exchange redevelopment project, and it comes with a price jump. The total cost of the project has surged $30 million, now sitting at a total price tag of $180 million. The latest design showed there would be a 53% improvement to vehicle delays and an additional 5% capacity for cars in the morning. The numbers in the afternoon are 41% improvement in delays and 13% more capacity.
HRM is formally asking the province to strengthen dangerous dog legislation. This comes after a unanimous vote directing Halifax Mayor Andy Fillmore to send a letter to the Minister of Municipal Affairs asking for changes to the current bylaw, dog bylaw limitations. Those bylaws are municipal, and Council wants the province to take over.
This is our turn to turn the tables and say, call your MLA and make sure that they're aware of exactly what this is and why it's so important, and why it's important to everybody in our community to be able to be feeling safe as they walk the roads of HRM.
A municipal report outlines a number of new measures like higher penalties for dog owners, greater authority to seize dangerous animals, and a provincial dangerous dog registry.
Nova Scotia has had a relatively snowy winter this year, but don't expect that to knock back the tick population. Experts say the long-lasting snow cover is more of a help than a hindrance. Frances Willick explains.
If you think Nova Scotia's snowy winter means there will be fewer ticks around this year, think again. Researchers say snow actually helps ticks survive. At the Halifax airport, there was snow on the ground for 64 consecutive days, the longest stretch since winter 2020. Laura Ferguson is an assistant professor in biology at Acadia University. She says all that snow acts as a blanket that insulates ticks from cold temperatures.
Nice winters for them are ones where either there's lots of snow cover to protect them, or if it's a little bit warmer than usual, and that's just going to make sure that the cold doesn't cause damage inside of their bodies and kill them.
Yantina Toxopeus is an associate professor of biology at St. FX. She researches how temperature affects ticks. She says while temperatures lower than -15 can freeze ticks, at least in the lab, how fast the temperature drops makes a difference.
If it's a shock, if it's like a real quick temperature change, they seem to struggle. So when we started working with them, we said, okay, yeah, -10 kills them. But then we tried some slower ramps down to -10 and they were actually okay.
So what's the prognosis for this year? Experts say it's expected to be business as usual. No worse, but no better than other recent years.
So they've been fairly protected. And so I anticipate that probably, we've got such a big population of ticks that a good portion of them have made it through this winter, and we'll see them again pretty soon here.
Frances Willick, CBC News, Halifax.
Anyone skin crawling after that?
Yeah.
Here's Ryan Snoddon.
Who knew the ticks like the snow?
Yeah, and listen, when I was digging into the data for Frances for this story, I knew we had some cold shots in December and into January, but when you look at the data, and again, we'll show you that graph one more time, when you look at the data closer, those temperatures that they were mentioning in this story between -10 and -15, you really had to look at the months from say mid-January across through February. That's when those temperatures were the most sustained, in that -10 to -15, a couple of nights that got down to -20, but by then we had tons of snow on the ground. So yes, that insulating blanket Unfortunately, bad news for us, good news for the ticks. Now, as we look at the forecast for tomorrow, we are looking at some quieter weather, thankfully. We're going to be ranging between the low single digits in the northeast, and we'll squeak up towards 2, 3, 4, even 5 degrees in the southwest. Not a break for long, though. Friday and Easter Sunday, we're watching more systems. The details on that coming out.
All right. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Minimum wage is up in Nova Scotia. It increased by 25 cents today, hitting $16.75 an hour. It will go up another 25 cents on October the 1st. Minimum wage also increased in PEI, which now has the highest hourly pay in the region at $17. New Brunswick will continue to have the lowest in the Maritimes at $15.90 an hour.
The province is celebrating the opening of another 110 beds at the West Bedford Transitional Care Facility. The facility opened in December of 2024 with 68 beds. It's designed to provide transitional care and get more people out of hospital. The facility is operated for the province by Shanex at a cost of about $45 million a year. Premier Tim Houston said he'd like to see more facilities like this in other parts of the province.
Delivering healthcare in Nova Scotia is expensive, for sure, and that's the reality of it, but the needs are significant, and we can't shy away from meeting those needs just because it's expensive. That's how we have a $1.3 billion deficit, but we'll always be there to deliver on those needs, and this is a great way to do it. So we're definitely looking at other opportunities.
Nova Scotia Health says the West Bedford facility has saved more than 27,000 acute care bed days since opening.
The interim CEO of Nova Scotia Health will continue on the job for the next few months as a search is launched for her replacement. Karen Oldfield's contract was set to end on Tuesday, but Health Minister Michelle Thompson says she's agreed to stay on in the short term while a search for a new CEO is conducted. Oldfield got the job in 2021 after Thompson and Premier Tim Houston fired the Health Authority's board and sitting CEO. Thompson says she has no regrets about her government appointing Oldfield.
Certainly, this has been a time of transformation and agility, and in the healthcare system, a lot of investment, a lot of change in a short period of time, and we needed a formidable leader to be able to help us with that, and certainly that's what Karen has delivered.
Thompson would not say if she thinks the next CEO should have a healthcare background.
The results are in. From ticket sales to crowds, numbers were up at last year's Celtic Colours in Cape Breton.
But it comes as organizers have to deal with a big cut to its budget this year. Kyle Moore explains.
Music and money is the tune organizers are singing after last year's Celtic Colours Festival. Just short of 20,000 tickets were sold in 2025, generating $18.2 million in economic activity for Nova Scotia.
And of course, that rolls into a 29-year history of economic impact, which settles around $225 million. So it's pretty significant. It's a significant event, not only for Cape Breton Island, but certainly for Nova Scotia.
The banner year comes as their budget for 2026 takes a hit. 20% of the festival's operating assistance grant has been reduced, which translates to a loss of $40,000. The cuts come as part of the provincial government's budget.
I was very surprised because we were in a 3-year agreement with the province, as we do with the federal government as well. So we have multi-year agreements with both levels of government. So I thought that because we had a signed document, I naively believed that we would be free from any cuts, immediate cuts.
It was a cross-government decision, 20%.
We are singing out today. Rallies were held province-wide in March, urging the government to reverse its decision to cut grants in the arts and culture. The minister for that sector was asked why compromise an event like Celtic Colours that generates millions locally.
Yep, we'll continue to support Celtic Colours, $160,000 this year, and we look forward to working with them again this year.
McCachran says he was blindsided by the cuts and received no advanced warning.
You know, when you're talking 20%, that's something that you really have to respond to. A 10% cut, maybe we could manage without too much impact, but a 20% cut when you're deep into planning for your 30th year, it really took us off guard.
The Celtic Colours International Festival is celebrating a major milestone in 2026, marking the 30th year of the festival starting October 9th. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Sydney.
There's the view in East Dover. We're back after this.
Well, the weather gods have Ryan almost worn out. Things are up and down, but a bit of a break, at least for the short term.
But then the roller coaster keeps on chugging.
Yeah, and right now, the roller coaster taking us through these icy messes. So yeah, more snow, ice pellets, freezing rain to come over the next couple of days. Good Friday and Easter Sunday. So the better travel days for this weekend are going to be Saturday and Monday, if you can coordinate your plans. But early Friday morning looking okay too. We will talk about that first. Our look at our webcam video live shot from Lunenburg. And yeah, looking not too bad there this evening. Certainly the cloud cover dominating right now across a good portion of the province. And as we look at the temperature map, it's not bad. 6 degrees in Lunenburg, 5 in Halifax. We did get to 10 degrees along the South Shore today. Western Head did get to 10. It's at 9 right now. Shelburne's at 9. You can see how much cooler temperatures are in the Northeast. We're at and below the freezing mark. Some snow, some ice pellets, some freezing rain there last night and through this morning. And you can see that winds relatively from the north to northeast northeast in through the northeastern parts of the province and a little more north to northwest here across western parts of the province. And for tonight, as this system departs, we'll continue to see those light northerly winds. There's the frontal boundary that is moving its way out. Did you hear those few rumbles of thunder overnight in through early this morning? We did see some lightning strikes on the lightning detection anyway, along that South Shore, Metro, and into the Eastern Shore region. This is all going to continue to move out, and we're watching is this area of high pressure to move in, quiet things down, and then we're directing our attention to our next system, which is going to be, as I said, yet another messy mix. Temperatures still struggling across most of Western Canada. Through the Great Lakes, back to reality near 5 degrees. Quebec City at -1. St. John's, snow, ice pellets underway there with temperatures near -3. That's kind of where we'll be tonight. -1 to -3 or -4. Those northerly winds, 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, will be persistent. It's a chance for flurries for the most part, but just with the atmospheric setup right now, not a deep moisture layer. And so what we can see is instead of flurries falling down, it's actually just freezing drizzle, and there is the potential for that freezing drizzle overnight tonight, particularly through the northeast and into Cape Breton, and that risk will extend into tomorrow morning. Now, freezing drizzle, that's not going to cause any power outages. It's not going to weigh down branches and power lines, but it's just enough to make things slick on your front walkway, your steps, enough to scrape the windshield on your car tomorrow morning. So leave yourself a little extra time. Make sure you take care with that first step out your door if you're across the northeast of the province, in particular for Thursday. You'll note as we move throughout the day tomorrow, the clouds fairly dominant, unfortunately. Best chance for sun will be back here in through the Annapolis Valley. I do think we'll see some periods of sunshine across most of the province tomorrow, but the clouds are looking set to dominate, unfortunately. But at least it will be quiet. We'll see temperatures tomorrow across Cape Breton, right around the freezing mark. Those northeast winds 10 to 20. Similar story for the Eastern Shore. Now the winds will shift to a little bit more easterly into the afternoon. That's going to limit temperatures here as we move into the afternoon for the Atlantic coastline. So the best chance of climbing into that 3, 4, 5 degree range will be in and around Cobequid Bay, and then also into the Annapolis Valley. That's going to be, those will be our warmest temperatures for tomorrow, thanks to that developing shifting wind to east tomorrow. There's Friday, and yes, that next messy mix moving in. Note the temperatures bumping up here into the afternoon in through the southwest of the province. So it's all about the timing of this next system. Early Friday morning looks okay for travel, and then that snow will build in across primarily New Brunswick and PEI and into northern Nova Scotia. I think it's a pretty quick change to ice pellets, and then the potential for some freezing rain into the afternoon and evening hours in the northeast with the change to rain, Halifax, the valley, and down towards the South Shore. And that system will then move out into Saturday with some lingering showers and flurries, high pressure moving in with some sunshine into the afternoon. Our next system moves in Easter Sunday. That one looking like a quicker transition over to rain late Saturday night into Sunday morning. And so I think the bulk of the province Sunday afternoon, Tom and Amy, will be looking at rain with temperatures potentially up into the double digits again.
All right, we'll be ready for it. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. It's no secret that fewer Canadians are traveling to the United States.
And that trend is having major repercussions for the Maritime's closest state, Maine. The CBC's Jordan Gill reports.
Border crossings between Canada and the United States continue to look quieter than usual. This comes a little over a year since U.S. President Donald Trump was inaugurated for his second term, and Canadians became wary of heading south. Recently, Statistics Canada said return trips from the U.S. were down 22% in January 2026 compared to January 2025, which marks 13 straight months of year-over-year declines. One state disproportionately impacted by a drop in tourism is New Brunswick's neighbor, Maine. The state has historically been a tourism destination for Maritimers, and a good deal of the state's economy relies on it. And the reduction in Canadian tourists is hurting Maine's tourism industry.
The statistics show that in Maine, we had a 27% drop in border crossings. And for us, that's almost 1 million people. And just to put it in perspective, Our state has 1.5 million people. So to have that many less people coming across the border, whether it's Canadian tourists or people who come for shopping or family visits, it's really been doing damage to our state.
The reduction isn't academic. This Maine professor says there was a visible lack of Canadians in the state last year.
I ride the highway going to Portland, and normally you would see license plate after license plate with Canadian from Canadians, and I do not see those vehicles on the road much anymore. You go to the coast, the same thing. Bars have seats. Last summer you could find a table. You didn't have to queue up on a restaurant because the consumer numbers had dropped tremendously.
Several policies implemented by the Trump administration have strained relations between the United States and Canada and impacted pocketbooks on both sides of the border.
If you talk to any Republican in a border state, they know how damaging this has been. They're experiencing the same border crossing problems. They are dealing with many of the same problems. Many of them just don't like to fight back with the president.
While Republicans may privately be criticizing the president, Tijerina doesn't think there will be any significant reversal from the Trump administration.
I would say that the Trump administration is not going to move the needle, and they're going to stick to their set trajectory. I don't think that they worry a lot about what happens to Maine.
Coming up, calls to lower the colorectal cancer screening age in Nova Scotia after PEI becomes the first province to do so.
This week, PEI became the first province in the country to lower the colorectal cancer screening age from 50 to 45. And there are calls here for the Nova Scotia government to follow suit. And for more on this, we're joined by Heather Mulligan with the Canadian Cancer Society. First off, your reaction to what happened in PEI?
It was great news. The government came forward, it looked at the evidence, and it took swift and deliberate action in lowering the start age from previously, which was 50 to 45, in response to not only the calls from the Canadian Cancer Society, but also our partners, Colorectal Cancer Canada, and ensuring that more Islanders had timely access to care.
Well, why lower it to 45? What's the significance of that?
So emerging evidence has confirmed for us that younger and younger Canadians under the age of 50 are being diagnosed with colorectal cancer 2.5 times more likely, actually, than in previous generations. And when they are diagnosed, regrettably, it's at those really late stages where survival is lowest. And so based on the evidence that we're seeing, we've been calling on governments across Canada, and particularly Atlantic, we've been calling on government to look at the evidence, consider it, and create the capacity of the healthcare system to respond.
Well, why do you think that's happening to younger Canadians?
So we're still learning more every single day about, what are the drivers behind the increased rates. But there are some things that we do know, like alcohol consumption, diet, obesity, and physical inactivity. They all have a role to play. But what we also know is undeniable. The evidence is telling us that younger Canadians are being diagnosed more, and the outcomes are regrettably worse for them when they are. And so we can be very proactive based on what we're seeing, and that's offering a really simple and effective test directly in the hands of Nova Scotians.
Okay, PEI, the first province in the country, as we mentioned. The Liberals here introduced a bill to lower the age to 45. The Houston government says it's looking into it. Do you think having PEI, our neighbor, do this will put some pressure on?
Prince Edward Island has a long history of being the first, and it's a quiet leader in Canada. It was one of the first provinces in Canada nearly 2 decades ago to offer breast cancer self-referral for women starting at age 40. It was the first province in 2023 to make the switch from Pap tests to HPV testing for cervical cancer for their cervical cancer screening tool. It's taken a really deliberate approach when it comes to prevention. They've had some hard conversations in their legislature about the relationship that Islanders have with alcohol and how to reduce that harm, but also on tobacco and vaping by setting a minimum age of 21 for those products. And so PEI is a quiet leader. So, of course, it makes sense that they continue that leadership by being the first in Canada to respond to the evidence and lower the start age to 45.
What are some of the obstacles here? Is it capacity, the cost? What are you hearing when you delve into it?
System planning is always part of a rollout or an expansion of a cancer screening program. And so, of course, the government has the responsibility of saying, okay, we know what the evidence is. When someone is diagnosed or when we do expand this access, will the healthcare system meet them where they're at? And will they have access to timely care? And so I'm optimistic that the government of Nova Scotia is doing that work, that they're looking at what is the current capacity, how can they expand it so that if and when they lower the start age, that Nova Scotians will have that timely access to care that they deserve.
Now, here in Nova Scotia, it's automatic that you get one of these kits in the mail shortly after you turn 50. What kind of uptake is there? How many people participate, and how many people just, shove it in a junk drawer?
Well, the test really is, we're fortunate in Nova Scotia. So Nova Scotians receive it proactively through the healthcare system. But you're right, most people will take it, they'll shove it into a junk drawer, stick it on a counter for another time. It is a really simple tool that helps identify cancer or polyps before they become cancerous when someone has no symptoms at all. Regrettably, though, no province in Canada is meeting the benchmark standard of 60% participation in their colorectal cancer screening programs. And so there's absolutely a lot we need to do. First, expand the access, but also remind Nova Scotians, have them participate It is a really simple way to take care and take control of your health and monitor any changes over time.
And just because a person gets an abnormal result, that doesn't mean they necessarily have cancer.
No, and this is where the FIT test is really important. What it will do is help you identify those cells or any abnormalities really early before you have any symptoms. And then the through line or the treatment pathway after that is a colonoscopy, which is a bit more invasive. And so, that's at the stage of either confirming a diagnosis or removing precancerous polyps. And so again, it's, one of those really effective ways of at least treating or helping someone before it gets too late.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Coming up, attacks persist in Iran and across the Middle East as the U.S. president prepares to address the nation.
And Ottawa prepares to crack down on private nurse practitioner clinics, saying provincial governments must cover the cost. Welcome back. Finance Minister Francois-Philippe Champagne has arrived in China for a trade mission.
He'll be meeting with government and business leaders to try and build new partnerships with the world's second largest economy. Lisa Xing has more from Beijing.
China has become very important to Canada, and that's why Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne is in Beijing for 2 days of meetings with government counterparts and finance leaders, because he wants to try and bolster Canada's economy and strengthen partnerships here in China. All of this builds on the work of Prime Minister Mark Carney a few months ago, where he came to Beijing and inked a deal with Chinese President Xi Jinping in order to secure a bit of tariff relief for certain agricultural sectors like canola, in exchange for allowing 49,000 Chinese EVs into Canada at a reduced tariff rate. Now, all of this is key in the work of diplomacy as Canada works to achieve a target of expanding exports to China by 50% by 2030. This is what Champagne said before he left for China.
Everyone has found a strategic way to engage with China. China is the second largest economy and our second largest trading partner. So you have to engage.
Because China is a massive market, some business leaders I've spoken with say if Canada doesn't get on board, other countries will beat us to it, because we've seen a parade of leaders in the last several months visit Beijing. I spoke with the head of the Canada-China Business Council's office here in Beijing, and this is why he says now is the right time.
It's 1.3, 1.4 billion people here. It's a significant market that cannot be substituted or replaced, and especially for a country like Canada that trades a lot of commodities.
There are still challenges, including the fact that pork is still facing a 25% retaliatory tariff. And more recently, Prime Minister Mark Carney has had to defend Canada's efforts in keeping any products made with forced labor out of the Canadian supply chain. This comes after one of his newest MPs, Michael Ma, came under fire for seemingly suggesting that the practice did not happen in China. So a few things, a few developments to watch for as Champagne embarks on his trade mission here in Beijing. Lisa Shing, CBC News, Beijing.
U.S. President Donald Trump is claiming Iran wants a ceasefire, something Tehran has been quick to deny as false and baseless. Meantime, Trump is ramping up his threats to pull his country out of NATO. Sasha Petrusik reports.
Seemingly hardline signals from Iran today. Video of kamikaze drones released by Iranian state TV targeting U.S. bases in the Mideast, said Iran. Also on state TV, an elaborate funeral procession for Revolutionary Guards and defiant interviews with Iranians, insisting there can be no sign of negotiation or weakness. That was echoed by Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. We don't accept deadlines and we don't trust negotiating with the Americans, he says. As usual this week, U.S. President Donald Trump had a different version of the Iranian position, posting that Iran was asking for a ceasefire only if the key Strait of Hormuz is reopened to oil tankers, he replied, a vague sign that it's almost over. Trump also had a message for NATO members, saying he was absolutely considering pulling the U.S. out of the military alliance because they hadn't been friends when the U.S. needed them to force open the strait, he said.
C'est pas fait.
French Deputy Defense Minister Alice Ruffo said NATO's not meant to operate in the Strait of Hormuz on a mission which would violate international law. But the spotlight is on Trump's words tonight. He says the war could wrap up since the U.S. has achieved goals like regime change, even though Trump says the U.S. is negotiating with the same president Iran had at the start, Masoud Pezeshkian. In his own message to the American people tonight, Pezeshkian says Iran is no threat and bears no enmity toward them. Sasha Petrusik, CBC News, Jerusalem.
The war with Iran and its impact on oil supplies has forced Australia to take rare action. Its Prime Minister has addressed the nation to issue a warning to Australians and to plead with them to cut back on their use of gas.
Australia is not an active participant in this war, but all Australians are paying higher prices because of it. And the reality is, the economic shocks caused by this war will be with us for months. Over coming weeks, if you can switch to catching the train or bus or tram to work, do so. That builds our reserves and it saves fuel for people who have no choice but to drive.
Australia imports about 90% of its fuel, and hundreds of service stations have already run out of gas. Those with it are now charging as much as $2.78 Canadian per litre.
The future of one of Donald Trump's hardline immigration policies is now in the hands of the U.S. Supreme Court. The High Court justices spent the morning hearing arguments for and against the president's attempt to limit birthright citizenship. Kate Fisher reports.
Lots of firsts here today. The first time a US president has attended oral arguments at the Supreme Court. And this is the first time the High Court has weighed the legal merits of President Trump's immigration policies. He signed an executive order limiting birthright citizenship within the first hours of his second term, arguing that babies born on US soil to undocumented immigrants and temporary foreign visitors without a parent who's not an American citizen cannot be Americans. The executive order was immediately hit with lawsuits, and lower court rulings blocked it from taking effect. Mr. Trump has said the birthright citizenship was meant only for the babies of slaves after the Civil War, and his lawyers argue that unrestricted birthright citizenship leads to so-called birth tourism. But the Chief Justice seems sceptical.
We're in a new world now, as Justice Alito pointed out to, where 8 billion people are one plane ride away from having a child who's a U.S. citizen.
Well, it's a new world. It's the same Constitution.
American Civil Liberties Union lawyer Cecilia Wang found notably less resistance in her defense, inspiring confidence of a presidential defeat.
I am confident that we will win this case and that the future of this country will be determined by our Constitution, by our civil rights statutes, and not by the whim of a president who wishes to wipe away hundreds of years of precedent.
Just after the oral arguments concluded, President Trump posted that the US is the only country in the world stupid enough to allow birthright citizenship. In fact, the US is one of more than 30 countries that confer citizenship at birth with no conditions, according to the Library of Congress. Now, a victory for the president here would have sweeping practical consequences, stripping citizenship from some 200,000 babies born each year, according to the ACLU. We're expecting a decision from the court by the end of June or early July. For CBC News, I'm Kate Fisher in Washington.
We're getting close to the planned liftoff of NASA's Artemis 2 spacecraft. It'll be humanity's first trip to the moon in more than 5 decades, with Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen on board. Hansen, that's him on the left, and the rest of the crew stepped outside NASA's Operations Center for their final appearance in front of the media and family members before heading to the rocket launch pad 14 kilometers away. They've been strapped into their seats in the capsule since early afternoon, doing a series of checks with Mission Control. The first in a series of launch windows opens at 7:24 p.m. Atlantic time. And if all goes to plan, the 4 astronauts will be on a 10-day mission going around the moon.
For some Canadians who can't find a family doctor, a nurse practitioner is the next best thing. But in some parts of the country, visits to private nurse practitioner clinics are not covered by provincial or territorial health insurance programs. That is about to change. The CBC's Christine Birak explains.
For anyone seeing a nurse practitioner in Canada, here's the bottom line.
Patients will no longer have to pay out of pocket for primary health care services.
Canada's health minister gave provinces a deadline last year. Start publicly covering nurse practitioners and others who offer care similar to family doctors by April 1st.
You can probably see the smile on my face, like it's such a stress relief. Have you had any side effects or anything?
This nurse practitioner runs a private clinic in St. John's. He says his main goal is to provide care.
It's good. Blood pressure pill seems to be working. People shouldn't have to be restricted if they can't afford it.
Yvette Jarvis says she spent roughly $2,500 over 5 years on visits to nurse practitioner clinics.
They gave me the exact same care that I would normally get from a family physician. So I feel like we shouldn't have to pay the $75 and it should be covered.
While patients in Newfoundland and other provinces will no longer pay out of pocket, there are exceptions, including Ontario, which isn't ready but states it has over a year before the federal government begins charging penalties for charging patients. Provinces often say they don't receive enough healthcare dollars from Ottawa, but some argue there's a deeper problem.
They seem to have the sense of urgency about not having the funds, but they're not actually implementing new models of care that could actually help them save funds.
She says if it's $100 to see a doctor, but only $75 for a nurse practitioner to handle the same problem, money can be saved.
We as taxpayers want our dollars to be spent in the right places at the right value, and we are not spending it in the right places at the right value.
The college representing family doctors says Canada needs a strong, publicly funded health system that provides team-based care close to home. But they emphasize family doctors are not interchangeable. They are uniquely trained and trusted to deal with serious health concerns. Christine Burak, CBC News, Toronto.
There is now one less way to get weather information in this country. Environment and Climate Change Canada is ending its long-running weather radio service. And as Ethan Williams tells us, it provided more than just the forecast.
Please note that weather radio and Hello Weather are no longer in service.
That's the message you'll hear if you tune into Environment and Climate Change Canada's Weather Radio Network. The 24-hour service broadcasts daily forecasts and severe weather bulletins for 50 years on more than 200 stations across Canada. Now, it's gone for good. Trent Walton used it to get the forecast before heading out to go fishing. He says phones can easily provide weather information now, but weather radio was a crucial backup.
It is maybe more of a basic form of communication, and if things do break, simpler is often better.
Environment and Climate Change Canada says it's become too expensive to maintain weather radio technology, and it's working to strengthen the national Alert Ready system to get weather warnings out quickly. But for some, weather radio has been a life-saving service. A severe weather bulletin like this caught Joe Waldner's attention last summer. It warned him that this was heading toward his Martensville home.
Of course, I come to my desktop, I pull open my radar, I'm looking at the system going, oh yeah, this is going to be devastating. So I go to my local community Facebook page for where I live, and I come, by the way, guys, batten down the hatches, this is what's coming.
But some weather experts say it was time for the service to end, and there are better ways to stay informed.
But in reality, weather radio is a very outdated technology. It kind of dates from a time before cell service, where people really didn't have a way of getting weather information when they were outside of a city or away from their home.
Meaning Trent Walton will likely have to pull out his phone to get the forecast the next time he hits the water. Ethan Williams, CBC News, Regina.
Canada's main stock index rose on Wednesday, while U.S. markets also gained ground amid hopes the war in the Middle East could end. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to break. All right, gang's all back. Picture time on the show. Where's Ryan taking us tonight?
We're going to go to northern parts of the province, and this is, we've been talking about signs of spring.
Yes.
This one, this is a shoulder season pick.
Okay.
Yeah, apologizing before the picture.
Yes, but beautiful nonetheless. So have
Okay.
a look. We're going to zoom in, on a beautiful spot. This is Earltown, and we know there's lots of blueberry fields up there.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that is neat, isn't
So
it?
with the snowpack melting and those, blueberry fields coming a little more into light and picture, you can see that that's a pretty great contrast picture there. Thanks to Barry. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. So tomorrow we're looking at temperatures near the freezing mark in the east and northeast, and we're going to be warming up more so towards Cobequid Bay, around the Bay of Fundy, and into Digby and Yarmouth counties. Those will be away from those winds that are first from the northeast, then shifting to a little more easterly into the afternoon. A mainly cloudy day, no doubt, some sun breaks and a chance for some flurries, risk for some freezing drizzle in the morning across the northeast and for you folks in Cape Breton. It's a messy mix working its way back in on Friday. The timing of that system is obviously going to be key as we see that low pulling away. There's our quiet day on Thursday, and then here comes our next system. It does spread snow in pretty quickly into New Brunswick on Friday morning. Nova Scotia takes a while for it to build in, and then that snow will track in across, looks like the northeast, with a pretty quick transition to ice pellets. I think Halifax probably starts with ice pellets and then changes over to freezing rain. The southwest gets into the rain pretty quickly on Friday afternoon, and then it'll be a more sluggish warm-up for the northeast with a brief warm-up into the Friday night time period. We clear out on Saturday, and then, we'll do it again on Sunday.
There's a lot happening, isn't there?
There is a lot.
All right, well, if you don't have a time machine handy, here's another way to experience what it's like to walk among dinosaurs. Okay, there you go. The Age of Dinosaurs is a virtual reality experience where people get a 360-degree view of being immersed in the prehistoric world.
The technology captures the user's motion, allowing them to feel like they're interacting with these extinct animals.
This is an early preview ahead of the VR company's Friday launch, which will include several major cities in Canada. I got two boys, I think, that'd be interested in that.
Kids would love it, wouldn't they? All right, that's it for us tonight. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.